Hello everyone, welcome back into another video of our channel. Now you might be asking, what the fuck, why haven't you made a video for I think it's a week or something? And to that I have a very good apology, and this apology will continue on into this video because we're gonna be talking about this well, we're gonna be talking about this subject. I have been doing an extensive research for the FNaF series, or the Five Nights at Freddy's series, and in today's video we're gonna be talking about the whole lore. Just a bit of a twitch, let's say. I won't be talking about the lore of security breach. I'll be talking to the end of UCN. After that, I won't be talking anymore for FNaF because I haven't really finished Security Breach with all the endings, and I can't do research because I don't want to be spoiled. So I will do a part two, quote unquote part two, that I will be talking about Security Breach, but I'll do that in the future. So with that being said, let's not be any longer because this video is already long enough. Let's get to the video. So, before we actually look at the story, we need to look at the main characters of the story. For now, in the beginning of the story, there are two families. The Afton family, with William Afton, his wife being unknown, and him having three children, Evan, Michael, and Elizabeth Afton. And the second family being Henry's family. Henry Emily was his name. Wife is unknown, and the children's name, he had two children, one being Charlotte and the other one being Sammy. Together, these were childhood friends. So together, they had, let's say, an epiphany. They wanted to open a pizzeria. Well, not actually a pizzeria, but something that children can go into and have fun, because they knew that that's what made profit these days. So Afton and Henry created Freddy's Family Diner, and they also made two animatronics because they were two great technicians, great engineers. So they had an idea that would really change the world in America as we knew it then. These two animatronics would be two Springlock suits, and they would be called Fredbear and Spring Bonnie. And of course, children loved it. Parents would just sit back, relax, drink a coffee or a beer or whatever, and they would see their children just running around, playing with the animatronics. The animatronics were also mascots. People could go in, not customers, people with training could go in and also entertain children, bring joy into their birthday parties. And the profits were wild. They were so big that really no one could believe how great this idea was. But the problem is that profits cannot change a human's mind, because William was crazy. So he created the animatronics, and he created this pizzeria with Henry just so that he could lure in children and kill them. So one day, Afton put on the Spring Bonnie suit, the Springlock Bonnie suit, and lured in 5 children into the back alley a back room of the pizzeria, and then killed them. So with that, he knew that the parents would actually notice that their kids are missing. Like, where are they? So he had a great idea. They had animatronics. These animatronics could fit humans inside them. So he put on the bodies inside the animatronics, hiding them, and these bodies would not be found until so much time later. Okay, so after he has killed 5 children, a missing children's incident begins in Freddy Fazbear's, and Freddy Family Diner closes. But with that, Afton understands that he can lure in children way more efficiently. So he creates now. Before we actually continue, I must say that there is no timeline right now. We get very specific times, but when I say from this to that, we don't actually know how long it has been. It might be months, it might be days, weeks, or even years. We don't really know, and I'm really sorry, but I won't say times up until I reached into an event that actually has a time. Okay, so Circus Baby is then created by Afton, I suppose a few months later. And Circus Baby is special. She's not like any other animatronic that he has created, because she actually, her torso opens up and it can lure in children, catch them, and kill them, just so that he could get this psychosis sorted, let's say. So Circus Baby is created, and also a lot of other animatronics are created, just as Funtime Foxy, Funtime Freddy, Funtime Chica, and Funtime Foxy, and with the star of the whole show being Circus Baby. So Afton opens a new attraction, with its name being Circus Baby Entertainment and Rentals. So, as we have already stated, Afton had a family, and Afton had children. Now, his middle child, Elizabeth Afton, actually wanted to play with Circus Baby. Now, like I have already stated, Circus Baby was created for the sole purpose of luring and killing kids. So Afton knew that this would be out of the table. He didn't want one of his own creations to kill his daughter, because the guilt would just be so big. So, and the risk would also be so big. He didn't want her to go anywhere near Circus Baby. So the answer was always no. We can always find many tapes in the games that actually record Elizabeth from Afton's perspective, asking to go and see Circus Baby, because Circus Baby was created by her father, and Circus Baby also had a very samey, let's say, look to Elizabeth. She was created by Elizabeth's base, so she wanted to go and see her. She wanted to actually feel like she's playing with a soulmate. So Afton, because he knew the risk was just too massive, he didn't want her to go there. So the answer was always no. Was no, no, no. You can't go there. She's a work in progress. You will someday. Someday I want you to go. Someday I will let you. But someday is not really cutting right with Elizabeth. So one day, while Afton and Henry were preoccupied with a party, Elizabeth sneaks into the stage of Circus Baby, and Circus Baby begins her act, because Circus Baby was programmed to only kill a kid when no one else was around, when it was only a 1-to-1 situation. So Circus Baby begins dispensing ice cream, and as Elizabeth goes to grab the ice cream, Circus Baby's torso opens up, catches Elizabeth, and kills her. Her screams were just silenced by the children just running in and out of the stage, in and out of the pizzeria, having fun at the party, while Elizabeth Afton was being killed. So, of course, the party ended. And Afton was worried, because where did his daughter go? He looked everywhere, but then saw blood dripping out of Circus Baby. He rushed over, opened the torso, and it was of course late. Elizabeth Afton was killed by Circus Baby. So the attraction, let's say, closes immediately. He didn't really hesitate. He just kicked everyone of the staff out and closed the attraction immediately. So Afton then, after the incident, Afton tells Michael and Evan to never go to an animatronic, never go close to an animatronic. Although he knew that Michael was old enough that Circus Baby and the other animatronics would not really hurt him, he didn't want anyone going there because he knew that there is a risk, especially for Evan, to die from something. So, from an animatronic, of course. So, Afton and Michael have a plan. Michael wears a foxy mask and always scares Evan. So, like, Evan tries to go into the pizzeria and Michael just keeps on scaring him. So nightmares begin haunting Evan, and Michael continues on bullying him. And he goes one step further every time. And then comes Evan's birthday. Now we actually have a time for this, 1983. So Michael calls his friends, 3 other bullies, and they take Evan and put him close to Fredbear. Now, that would not really be a problem. And then they put Evan inside Fredbear's mouth. Now, like I said, that would not really be a problem. Except Michael did not really know the one rule of spring lock machines. If the spring lock interacts with any moisture or water, it rolls back into its normal state, locks, and everyone trapped inside would be just crushed into pieces. And of course, Fredbear actually did that, reverting into... Well, of course, it didn't happen on its own. Evan was crying inside Fredbear, and of course, because it interacted with moisture and water, Fredbear just closed, crushing Evan's head. Afton was in front of this, and he was cheering up Michael and his friends because he thought that was actually a very good idea. His children would not really be able to go anywhere near an animatronic, so that Evan's safety was, well, his priority. And now that Evan's safety was secured, it was all great. But of course, like I said, he forgot the one rule of spring lock machines. He saw the whole act play out, and he just approached Evan, unlocked Fredbear, took him out, and saw that his head was crushed. But Evan did not die. Evan was just put on a coma. After that, just called everyone, every single person. He called an ambulance, police, he called firefighters, he called every single person that you could ever think of. He called he called his wife. He didn't have any time to blame either him or Michael. He just had to get Evan to the hospital. So he got into an ambulance. They left with Michael, of course. They went into the hospital, and after 2 days, Michael, of course, was standing by Evan's side. But after 2 days, Afton came into the room, and the doctors told Afton that Evan would Evan would die. So, yeah. Of course, it wasn't that happy moment that he was actually expecting, but yeah. So, with his final words, he actually goes and takes a Fredbear, and a Fredbear plushie that had a camera inside it, puts it to Evan's side, and of course apologizes to him. Of course, we also got a game for this. I remember that it was in FNaF 2. Although I didn't really search for the games, I searched for the lore, so I'm really sorry if I got that wrong. So, after Evan's death, and with Afton already being crazy, Afton just begins his descent into madness. Because, well, he just lost his child. So, he knew that he lost his child, everyone else would have to lose their child as well, their children as well. So, he creates, well, actually, of course, he's a suspect for his son's death, but okay, that's of course, I think it's kind of obvious. So Henry cuts off with Afton and creates a company with employees, employers, cleaners, everyone. And that is actually FNaF 2. So Henry creates a facial scanner and a security puppet for the pizzeria. A facial scanner because he did not want Afton anywhere near animatronics, anywhere near the pizzeria, and a security puppet especially for his daughter. Also, the animatronics were not spring lock machines, so no one could get inside. So, after the creation of the attraction, Afton destroys Fredbear and begins hating Michael because he realizes that was all Michael's fault. So, he goes to the pizzeria, to Henry's pizzeria, of course, to the FNaF 2 pizzeria. But he sees Henry. Henry tells him, just don't make it harder than it already is. Leave, just leave. There is no point on coming here anymore because I don't want you to be here. Because you are a suspect. I don't want you being here. Henry kicks Afton off the pizzeria, and then begins the revenge plan. So a few days later, Afton is just locked in his room, and he just replays Evan's death. But after that, he thinks, Henry kicked me off the pizzeria. Henry also has a daughter. You can already see where I'm going with it. So, at a very unfortunate night, he trapped the security puppet, because the security puppet unfortunately had a very specific mechanism. It could only go from one place. It could only exit and, well, go back into a box with only one way. The top, of course. So, he trapped the puppet wearing the spring lock machine, wearing the spring body machine. He came and put a very heavy box above the box entrance. The box's entrance. So the puppet could not really get out anymore. He took Charlotte away and in an alley just slayed her. So Henry is now without a daughter. He still has Sammy, which Sammy is not really in the story anymore. He's like, he's out. So, well, William kills Henry's daughter. He traps by trapping the security puppet, of course. And when the puppet got out, it just tried to go into the alley that she was killed, that Charlotte was killed. And the only thing it could do, because of the heavy rain, it got slowed down, it broke. So it just hugged Charlotte and just stayed there forever. But that's not the puppet's end. I must just say a disclaimer because the story won't make any sense if I don't. So, every child killed by Afton or his creations is transferred into the animatronic. The soul, its soul is just transferred into the animatronic. So Charlotte's soul is into the puppet now. The puppet is of course recreated. It's of course repaired. But Henry did not want to close the pizzeria. After he found out that his daughter died, he knew that was Afton. He wasn't stupid. He knew it was Afton. But he said, no, I won't close the pizzeria because if I do, he won't stop coming back. He won't stop killing. And he will also prove William right, which was something that he really didn't want. So, Circus Baby Rentals opens again by Afton, and a day after Circus Baby Rentals opens, William's wife comes by to his house, and William says that he hates Michael. He doesn't want to see Michael again. He never wants to interact with him, and he wants his wife to take him away. His wife, of course, does not want to because she is preoccupied with other stuff. Of course, the grief of losing two of her children. So she denies. She actually declines. So they get into a very rough, let's say, fight. and just Afton storms off, closing the door, shutting the door behind him. And his wife just keeps on knocking, and he turns. The last wheel, let's say, the last, I don't know, mechanism in his mind just turns. Alright, he snaps. He takes a knife and just opens the door calmly. She starts screaming at him, but then it stops because William has now murdered his wife. She just falls down, and there it goes. It ends there. After that, the puppet, well, Charlotte, gave the animatronics life, cursing the children in the animatronics endoskeleton. And, well, yeah. The animatronics now start interacting differently with adults. Of course, they're interacting the same with children, but differently with adults. So, unfortunately, Mangle gets dismantled by the animatronics because they want her to feel what they are feeling. Mangle just becomes some scrap, and there is no way for any mechanic to actually bring her back. So, with the animatronics now awoken from death, every night they go to the office, to the security guard's office, to see if the security guard is Afton. They say that he's not because he's wearing a Freddy mask. They can't see if he is, so they leave and come again. Leave, come again, leave, come again, leave, come again. It always works like that. Alright? Until the security guard gives up. He leaves. And then, after one day after the security guard left, Mangle snaps and kills a kid. And that is known as the bite of 1987. So, Circus Baby, like I said, Circus Baby Rentals opens by Afton once again. In 1993, the pizzeria closes and Afton dies inside of it. Now, that's a bit of a jump. That's 6 years later. Yeah, let me explain. So, Circus Baby Rentals opens by Afton. Afton Afton didn't know that the animatronics were cursed, but when he found out, he wanted to operate with a mechanism, let's say, called Remnant. Now, Remnant was a person's soul. So he extracted Remnant from kids and then put them inside the Funtime animatronics. Now, of course, as you might understand, Circus Baby now is Elizabeth Afton, and Ballora is now Afton's wife. And Afton knew that something was wrong with the animatronics. He knew because he didn't really extract Remnant from the other animatronics in the old pizzeria. He knew that something was wrong. He knew that they were cursed. So he went, grabbed an axe, and just destroyed every single of the animatronics. Now, we can see that. We don't actually see that from a game. We do, but we can see it more clearly from the Living Tombstone. One of their songs, the Living Tombstone, the I Hope You Die in a Fire, and actually the Living Tombstone songs will really help with the story because they have made FNaF songs that are actually step by step into the story. So Afton destroys the animatronics, and the children, the spirits of the children, are now out chasing him around. So he goes into the back room where his spring lock machine is there. The spring lock animatronic, the suit. So he wears it, and it was all fine. He actually scared the spirits away, but not scared, but he actually repelled the spirits, so like they would leave. But he also forgot one very important rule: no water, no moisture. And when you're in a place that is abandoned with the roof dripping water, it's a very dangerous game to play. So William dies, but William dies inside the Springlock Bunny suit. William is now inside the Springlock Bunny suit. Okay, William is inside it. His remnant is still remaining in the suit, and he now becomes Springtrap. So, like I said, in 1993, he dies. Quote unquote dies. No one can die in this fucking series. So, after that, Lefty is created to catch and destroy the puppet, because Henry knew that his daughter was inside the puppet. He didn't want her to suffer, so he created Lefty, which stands for Law, Encapsulate, Fuse, Transport, Extract. I don't know why. Okay, don't ask. So, Michael searches for Afton in Circus Baby Rentals and dies. How did he die? Well, he got scooped by something called the scooper. The scooper extracted all of his organs, leaving Ennard, that was every Funtime animatronic just on together, except Circus Baby. It allowed Ennard to just go inside him. So Michael is now controlled. Michael's body is now operated by Ennard. Okay, so Michael's body, of course, rots over the weeks, and Ennard exits it. So after Michael's death, quote unquote, like I said, because Ennard interacted with him, and because Ennard was living in him after weeks, it rotted, but Michael did not die. Michael was still alive because his remnant stayed in Ennard, but when Ennard exited his body, the remnant came back into him. Alright, so he didn't die. No, like I said, no one can die in this story, really. So, Ennard and the Funtime grouped, great. Ennard and the Funtime group kicked Circus Baby away, because I don't really know, it isn't really, we don't really get to know why, but Ennard and the Funtime group kicked Circus Baby, that's what I know. So the Funtime group molts, and they just become a pile of scrap. Molten Freddy is created by this scrap, and Circus Baby, over the years, she breaks down, and she replaces some of her parts with a very big scissor and blades actually, and broken hands, and she becomes Scrap Baby. So 30 years later, that's quite, that's quite quite far away in time, but yeah, 30 years later, in 2023, Fazbear Fright is created. Afton is the workers there are misinformed and think that Afton is an animatronic that's not possessed, and they actually take him into Fazbear Fright because the suit was just messed up. Alright? At the same time, Michael finds a job there as the security guard. That's FNaF 3, by the way. So, now that Michael knows what his father has done, and he knows that Springtrap is his father, he wants to free his father, and he also wants to free every spirit. Okay, because as you may remember, if you have played FNaF 3, there are ghosts. Alright, so Michael burns the attraction to the ground. Michael burns Fazbear's Fright to the ground. After a very big fight with Springtrap, he manages to get out, and the spirits are now free. Except for Springtrap, which now becomes Scraptrap, or as we mostly might know him as in Ultimate Custom Night and FNaF 6, Afton, just Afton. So I will be calling him Afton from now on, which I've already done. So, the spirits are now free, and Freddy Fazbear's Pizza place opens. Now, what is this Freddy Fazbear's Pizza place? Well, it's FNaF 6, so you can understand we're nearing the end. So, Henry, using a signal, calls all the other animatronics, these including Afton, Lefty, that has now captured and actually locked the puppet inside, Molten Freddy, and Scrap Baby. Alright? These are the animatronics that he calls. So you might remember in FNaF 6, we've actually played it on stream as well, you get to salvage animatronics. These animatronics that you get to salvage are the animatronics that Henry has called. Alright, so if you actually succeed in all the salvages and you manage to make it out from every night, you actually get a very gruesome ending. Alright? Henry calls the big party on Saturday that he keeps reminding you of. So Henry calls a big party on Saturday, and with every animatronic now in the pizzeria, he burns it to the ground. With Michael inside, with even himself being inside. He couldn't bear with the loss of his daughter, he couldn't bear with what his daughter has gone through. So, Michael fights with Afton, and Afton fights with Lefty. Okay, because Lefty is mad. Okay, the puppet, Charlotte, is mad that Afton killed her, took her life, ended her life when she was just beginning. She was so young, so she was mad. She had 30 something years, maybe even 40 years, to actually think about what Afton had done and take revenge. Alright, so after Lefty has actually managed to do some severe damage to Afton, Afton unfortunately manages to break through and sees Michael into the other room. Just goes on to grab him, but the door shuts, okay, and the door is actually closing Afton. The Afton suit is in danger, the Scrub Trap suit is in danger of being split in half. Although, of course, that's not the big problem because, you know, actually the pizzeria is burning to the ground. So that yeah, but you got the point. So, after all this, Michael behind him, of course, Michael has a door behind him that has closed. This door opens and he just sees a bright light. Afton keeps on calling Michael, respond, Michael, come back here, I'm gonna kill you. Michael never looks back. And he just, from the light, he sees his younger sister, Charlotte, and Evan. And together, they go and just waltz off into nothingness. That's the last time Afton ever saw Michael. That's the last time Michael ever saw Afton. And as the doors closed, Afton muttered something that he has never said in his whole life. So, after all that, Afton's limbo is created. Why? Because Evan is not yet free. Although Michael saw Evan in his dream, Evan is not free. Evan is everything but free. Because Golden Fredbear, is possessed by two spirits. Cassidy, which is the one that you shouldn't have killed, you might already see. You see her face actually in UCN. Now, I didn't fucking know that until until I made the research, and I was actually shocked because I knew that I was correct. Because I've seen a fucking face. Okay? Now that I've been proven correct, that's all I wanted. So, Afton's Limbo is created by Cassidy and Evan, and that's actually Ultimate Custom Night. UCN is Afton. The security guy in UCN is Afton. And while Cassidy and Evan are just watching from afar, something happens. They fall off. Evan actually falls off into the void and sees Old Man Consequences. Now, we don't actually know what Old Man Consequences is. We just think that he's something like a god. But, yeah, he's pretty much... We don't really know what he is. And he just tells him, leave the demons to his demons. Rest your own soul. That's what Evan does. And as he falls off into the void, he rests. And that's it. God, that's the story. The story ends. And you might not believe me, but the actual script I've written just says Afton's Limbo is created by Cassidy and Evan. Parenthesis Golden Freddy, parenthesis Ultimate Custom Night. The story ends. Ole! It took me seriously 4 hours to make this script, and I've just seen that this video is 33 minutes long. I hate my life. But okay, you know what? That's fine. God, I can finally sleep. So, that was the video. That was the story. Okay? There will be special thanks in the description because I haven't collected this footage alone. I've actually taken this footage from different videos. So this footage will be I will have to say thanks and give credit to the creators of this footage. So that's about it. I did not really go into detail because if I went into detail, oh fucking hell, it would take me so long. All right, so if you have been following me on Twitter, you might have already known that I've been working on this for 2 weeks, and on this I've been working on the script 1.5 days. I've been sleepless for 1 day and a half, all right, and my head hurts, and my body hurts, everything I have hurts. So yes. Thank you very much for watching today's video. I hope you loved it. If you didn't, then you're a very cruel person. Oh God, if you could subscribe to me, that would really be appreciated. I throw a lot of time into these videos, and you and your help, your sub and your help really helps me out. So if you could like, that would also be appreciable. If you like the video, please like. It helps the algorithm. If you have any comments that you would like to make, please do so, because in 2022, who leaves dislikes? I can't even see how many dislikes I have. Welcome to YouTube, everybody. What can we do? So, there will be another part, a second part for this video, because I actually want to talk about security breach. But of course, I can't now because I haven't finished the game myself. So, I expect that this video would be out in some time. I don't really know when. So, that's it. Thank you very much for joining me today. Thank you very much for this video. Thank you for joining me into this trip down memory lane. FNaF really is proven to be one of the best horror franchises, actually, not attractions, and it's also proven to be one of the best stories out there, because trust me, it's created by one person. Okay, his name is Scott. Unfortunately, he resigned some time back because he wanted to spend more time with his children, because of course creating a game that fucking good, it's just too much of a hustle, really. I don't blame him. I wouldn't even last a month. So that's about it. Okay, thank you very much for joining me today. I really hope you liked the video. It took me so long to make it, and yeah, if you could go and follow me on my Twitch, it would be very much appreciated. If you could also go, if you want to be the first to actually get an announcement, or the first to watch many videos as a, let's say, pre-YouTube phase, I will be uploading some of my pre-YouTube phase videos on Twitter. So yes, well, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you loved the video. I've already said that 3 times, but you know what? It took me so long. I really don't have my mind being okay right now. Okay, so thank you very much. And yeah, I will see you in the next video. I really don't have. I have no idea when it will be. Please do not pressure me. Bye bye.